Protect your peace. The power of choosing calm over chaos. Have you ever felt the weight of someone else's words sitting heavy on your chest? For example, you walked into a room calm and happy, but you left feeling emotions that weren't even yours. I know we've all been there, mistaking compassion for surrender and believing love means absorbing other people's storms. But what if you could keep your peace no matter the chaos? What if no insult, no misunderstanding, no projection could pull you away from yourself? In this video, you are reclaiming the key. You are learning the art of protecting your peace, breathing before you break, and rising above the noise. Not with anger, but with grace. By the end of this video, you won't just hear about peace, you'll feel it. Deep, grounded, unshakable peace. But before we begin, click the like button and comment, I take back my peace. Let me say it again. I take back my peace. There is a sacred stillness inside of you, a quiet garden where your heart resets. It's untouched by the noise of the world. But somewhere along the way, many of us handed over that key. We let other people's pain become our burden. We absorb words that were never meant to take root in our hearts. And piece by piece, we give away our peace. But peace is your birthright, and you can reclaim it starting now. You see, people project what they cannot process. They throw the weight of their wounds onto whoever will catch it. And often, the person is the one who seems the strongest. Not because you deserve it, but because you have space. Because your heart is open. But hear me, you are not here to hold what isn't yours. Their anger is not yours. Their judgment is rooted in their own insecurity. Their rejection is a reflection of their self-worth. But yet, if you're not careful, you twist yourself into knots, trying to gain grace from people who haven't even given it to themselves. You silence your truth to keep the peace. But my love, those stones were never meant for you. I knew of a man named Emmanuel. He grew up in a house that never knew stillness. His mother's voice was sharp, always shouting, always rushed, always somewhere between anger and exhaustion. His father's temper filled the walls like thunder that never stopped. And as the oldest child, he became the shield. When his father's voice rose, he would stand between him and his younger siblings. When his mother cried behind closed doors, he pretended not to hear, because children don't know what to do with adult pain. He learned that love meant tension, that peace was a pause before the next explosion. And somewhere deep inside, he made a silent vow. I'll never make my family live like this. But trauma doesn't honor vows. It repeats them. I'll say that again. Trauma doesn't honor vows. It repeats them. Years later, when Emmanuel met Mary, it felt wrong. She was calm, emotionally present, and soft-spoken. She didn't yell when she was angry. She didn't slam doors or weaponize silence. She just wanted to talk. Slowly, gently, and intentionally. But that calmness, it made him nervous. He didn't know how to exist without chaos. So unconsciously, he created some. He picked fights over small things. He retreated when she tried to talk, then accused her of not caring. Her peace triggered his unease, and eventually her stability scared him away. However, when he met Sarah, it felt like home. Not because it was healthy, but because it was familiar. She was fiery, she was unpredictable, and boy, she was passionate. He yelled when she was hurt, and he yelled back. Their chemistry was intense, and in his mind, that intensity felt like love. They married quickly, and for a short while, it felt like magic. Until 2 months in, the arguments began. The same patterns, the same words. Her voice echoed his mother's, and his anger mirrored his father's. He had become what he promised he would never be. One night, after another screaming match, he saw his daughter hiding behind the couch, hands over her ears. And in that moment, something inside of him broke. Not pain, but in awareness. He saw himself in her eyes. And for the first time, he didn't feel angry. He felt grief. That night, he sat in the dark and whispered, I can't let her grow up like I did. I can't let her grow up like I did. So he sought help. He found a coach, and in that safe space, he learned something no one ever taught him. Peace isn't found in others. It is created within. He learned that his nervous system had been trained to equate chaos with safety. That stillness made him anxious because it was unfamiliar. He began to understand that his attraction to chaos wasn't love. It was the brain chasing what it knew. Week by week, he peeled back layers of pain. He stopped reacting and started breathing. He learned to walk away mid-argument, not out of pride, but to protect his peace. He learned that silence can be strength, not fear. He learned that calm is not weakness, it's emotional mastery. And slowly, Sandra began to heal too. Because peace is contagious, just like chaos once was. The home that was a battlefield began to soften. He apologized to his daughter, and he began to listen more. He became what he never had, a safe man. And in doing so, he broke the cycle. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Because peace isn't a destination, it's a daily decision. A choice to breathe instead of react. A choice to observe instead of absorb. A choice to create safety where chaos once ruled. And in that choice, he finally became free. The honest truth is that there are some people who grew up believing that love must hurt. Not because they want it to, but because that's how they learned it first. Because their earliest memories were filled with shouting, silence, and walking on eggshells. And that chaos started to feel like home. But one day, you grow up, and life gives you a mirror, a relationship that looks too familiar, and you are faced with a choice. Either you continue the cycle, or you reclaim your peace. The choice is yours. I also knew of a woman who used to cry quietly after work. Her boss belittled her, dismissed her ideas, and questioned her worth. She tried to be softer, smaller, more accommodating until one day she realized his cruelty wasn't about her at all. It was about his fear. Her light triggered the shadows he hadn't faced. So she stopped defending herself. She started breathing. And in that moment of stillness, she found her power. Because willpower isn't loud. It doesn't argue. It doesn't chase validation. It simply knows. Sometimes people see in you what they lost in themselves. Your peace unsettles them. Your confidence reminds them of what they buried. And instead of reaching for light, they test yours. So don't fall for it. You didn't cause their chaos, and you cannot cure it. Carrying it will not heal them. It will only bury you. Compassion is not self-sacrifice. You can say, I see your pain, but I will not become it. Now that is love. Love with boundaries. That is empathy. Empathy with wisdom. You are not a dumping ground for unhealed emotion. Nah. You don't need to defend your worth every time someone forgets theirs. So, stay grounded. Stay seated in your stillness. Because the moment you react, you hand over your power. Not every invitation to chaos deserves your presence. Not every argument requires your attention. Trust me. Not every wound deserves your worry. There is power in silence. Not the silence of fear, but the silence of mastery. The kind that says, I'm no longer available for what drains my soul. See, Most arguments are not about truth. They are about pain seeking somewhere to land. So when you refuse to engage, you rise from the storm. So breathe. When you feel the fire rise, when you feel the urge to defend, the urge to react, the urge to fix, pause. Pause and breathe. That pause is sacred. It's where your soul reminds your ego that you are safe. You are not in danger. You are in discomfort. And those are not the same. The breath is where you transform reflex into response, reaction into wisdom. Peace doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel and still choose calm. Some will call you cold when you walk away. Let them. They mistake peace for passivity because they've never known calm power. Trust me, your silence is not weakness. It's strength in its highest form. It's saying, I no longer fight battles that cost me myself. Look, you are not here to attend every storm. You are here to stand firm, rooted, unmoved, and radiant, because your peace is sacred and no one gets to play in it without your permission. So, to help you start this journey of protecting your peace, answer these questions. These are things I share with my women. Who or what has challenged your peace the most lately, and how have you been responding? So, who or what has challenged your peace the most recently, and how have you been responding? How can you begin to separate your emotions from other people's projections? How can you begin to separate your emotions from other people's projection? What beliefs about love or conflict did you inherit from your family? What belief about love or conflict did you inherit from your family? How have those beliefs shown up in your adult relationships? How has those beliefs shown up in your adult relationship? When was the last time you mistook chaos for connection or silence for safety? What would your life look like if you stopped attending every invitation to chaos that comes your way? What would your life look like if you stopped attending every invitation to chaos that comes your way? I love affirmations, so say these inner peace affirmations with me. I choose peace over reaction. I choose peace over reaction. I release what was never mine to carry. I release what was never mine to carry. I am safe in my calm. I am safe in my calm. I no longer absorb other people's pain. I no longer absorb other people's pain. My silence is my strength. My silence is my strength. I honor my boundaries with love and grace. I honor my boundaries with love and grace. I release my parents' patterns. They end with me. I release my parents' patterns. They end with me. I am learning to respond from peace, not pain. I create a home where love feels safe. I create a home where love feels safe. I am rooted, centered, and whole. My peace is my power, and I protect it fiercely yet kindly. I let go of the noise and I return home to myself. I let go of the noise and I return home to myself. Now take a slow breath in and breathe out. Breathe in through your heart and breathe out through your soul. Remember this, you are not here to be shaken by the world. You are here to move through it with grace, to be unbothered, unbroken, and deeply at peace. Because peace isn't found, it is chosen. And today, you chose it again. Thank you. Have a blessed day.